Okay, guys, in this video, I'm going to help you guys get your HubSpot set up better because I am helping so many people with their HubSpot instances right now as people are trying to go build a custom platform and then they realize that it doesn't work well for them because they still don't understand how to build like their own actual tool following proper structure. Just because you can vibe code something doesn't mean that you can do it well, and it doesn't mean it's actually going to work for a business and a business process. And so what I want to do is instead of showing you how to vibe code something, I just want to show you how to use existing tools, existing infrastructure, and start using a system that can be a true system of record for you. Yes, it's a little expensive. Yes, it can be a lot, but ideally by the end of the video, you're going to get at least one key section that you can have set up for your business. And the easiest one for us to start with is lead engagement and following up with those leads as quickly and efficiently as possible. And the two ways that people come into your business typically, at least in a general sense, is going to be from filling out a form or booking a meeting with you. Now, in either of these cases, you've got a couple of basic actions that you're going to want to do as soon as humanly possible, right? And what's important about that is that I had actually put a post on LinkedIn. Oh, shucks, let's go. I put a post on LinkedIn recently about this, and there is a big difference between the delay times of even just a few minutes to 10 minutes plus, 30 minutes plus. The longer you take to get in front of a lead, the higher chances are they're never going to talk to you. They're going to ignore it. You're not even going to be seen. You're not going to get the meeting booked. If they did book, they aren't going to show. It's a continuation. So in this, I want to show you how to properly set that up using something like HubSpot, and then going through and then setting up your messages. Okay, so step one, let's choose an easier one. We're going to go in here. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go down to meetings. We're going to turn on meeting reminders. This is an easy one to do. Turn on, days before, minutes before. Everyone's got meeting reminders. Those are always done. That's not necessarily what matters. What we want to do is we want to go to set up our own meetings. So we're in calendar. We're going to connect our account. I use Gmail, so I'm going to go through and connect my calendar. Yes, I accept. Here's my email. I'm going to tie it in, select all events, and continue. So just doing this, it immediately makes it so that way now, whenever I want to go and connect a calendar, let's see here, create a calendar, blah, blah, blah. I can now control all of the settings around my meeting booking with here. And what's even better is that we'll be able to then start using HubSpot's meeting booking tool here shortly. So that way people can run in, book a meeting with me, and then I can control the messaging, right? So now we can come over to automations. Just checking a couple things here really quick. Calendar's good. Calling is fine. We don't need to worry about this right now. We're going to connect our email address. We're going to add in our email, connect to Gmail, agree to these informations. We're going to agree and sign up. Yes, take my data. Great. So it's going through testing email from our inbox. Going through and doing this then allows us to run and send and receive emails from the corresponding email account. Here is the extension that you can use. So this extension is a thing that you'll use for tracking your to and from emails if you're sending them through the email provider itself. So you're on the Gmail app on your computer and you're sending that information. For right now, we're going to ignore that. We can manage our email signatures. We can also give it agent access. So we could have an agent use our email domains, and then also here's email domains and addresses. And we're going to turn on notifications. Allow. Fantastic. Okay, so we've gone through down the high levels, and then I just want to make sure we've got everything else put up because it's essentially us walking through this the very first time together. Great. So we've connected the email account. We've connected our calendar. We now want to be able to go through and actually set up some type of process to automate following up with the person on booking. So let's jump over. Okay, so once we've actually done the calendar connection here, just so you know, we're going to scroll all the way down. We're going to customize the meeting URL itself. And then, of course, you want to make sure all these other things are a little good. Now, what we want to do is we're going to come back all the way down to meetings on the tools side, and we're going to ensure that these are enabled. If you see a lock, that means that you need to unlock Sales Hub Professional. If you need access to this, feel free to message me. I can actually help you get discounts of it. I got to connect with the HubSpot team on my end. If you just want to pay extra and pay their fees, by all means do that. But if you would like to actually save some money, I'm happy to help you out how I can. It's a win-win for both of us. As far as meeting outcomes, we're going to come into here. We can hit edit options. You'll see that we then have base options. Additionally, we're able to turn on and track meeting types. So we can hit edit options and we can set up, something like a discovery call, scoping. I'll just call it discovery and closing, right? And there we go. So now we've got two different types of options. Now, if we come back to here, how did I get to this page, right? You want to go to sales. You want to go to meetings scheduler. Again, all of this under sales is under Sales Hub Professional. Again, I've got a link down below. You can message me. I'll try to see what I can do to help you get a good rate. In here, if you ever need to add another person, you'll be able to do so. But I've got just my link in here for the time being. We can come in here. You're going to want to make sure you connect the corresponding way you want people to talk to you. Most people are going to do Google Meet or Zoom. So you're going to come in here, connect your account, give it the ability to do all of these things. Boom, bada bang, good to go. Close. Okay, you gonna work for me? Manage. Okay, there we go. Just took it a minute. Let's just reload this page now. Sometime it is a little slow. Manage. Let me connect my data. Meetings. Feature discovery, yes. Global settings. Sync meeting data. Brain gears. Meeting app. There we go. Install. This is a cool little plugin they started doing where you can actually add in your information as you're having a conversation with someone. It allows you just to sync a lot of your details to every single opportunity. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to edit this one more time. We're going to add a conference link. There we go. We can finally add Google Meet. And for the time being, we're going to just set this to discovery call out of the gate. Great. So we've got our discovery call. So now we have a place where we can have people come to us, book, and it's connected to my calendar. What we want to do now is customize our confirmation email. This confirmation email is going to be the templated thing. So this is fine. We'll probably just leave this as it is. And then we can also make sure we set up our pre-meeting reminders. These can be sort of set up reminder emails. Here's the thing. Out of the gate, I recommend you just probably using the built-in ones that are in here. But what we want to do is you want to come down to automation, workflows. Actually, you know what? If you're going to use Sales Hub Professional, we should come over to sequences. So we're going to go to sales, sequences. We're going to create a sequence. We're going to do request. So product or demo request. So we can use this sequence. And this is a good base sequence to make this adjustment. So this will be discovery, meeting booking. And the intention of this is that if someone's going to come in, that they get something that feels unique and personal to them. HubSpot's got some base pieces that are in here. Honestly, a lot of this is something you're probably going to adjust yourself. So we're going to hit save. Great. So now we're going to go to steps. Under steps, we're going to edit this first email and we're going to make an adjustment. So template name, initial, discovery. Now I'm going to call this a meeting.reach. Subject, yo. It's sort of my sort of communication. So excited to connect. And then I'm going to insert personalization, contact, first name. And I'm going to have their name details. So if it ain't in there, it ain't in there. But hey, first name, saw you, booked a meeting, booked a time for us to chat. Excited, looking forward to connecting. Holy smokes, I'm going to use voice to text instead because my content typing is terrible right now. Excited to have a chance to connect. As stated, if you can, just make sure you've got a few things prepared in preparation for the upcoming call. I love to leverage the time that we've got to walk through current tools and systems and processes. So if you can, just make sure you've got a clear understanding of what you're looking for, how you're hoping I might be able to help you. And if you've got a few things that you would like for us to take a look at specifically, have those ready. And I'm excited to connect. Great. Blah, blah. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, I just saw you booked a time for us to chat. Excited to have a chance to connect. If you can, just make sure you've got a few things ready for the upcoming call. We can make the most the time. Let's see here. I want to play around with this a little bit. And then, so at this point, typically you're going to want to put together some basic messaging. It should be broad enough, yet aligned enough to show that it feels more realistic and personal here. Ideally, you could do something in the lines of like what Alex Ramosi always recommends. Honestly, it's just what I would recommend as a whole. It's just industry best practice to have some type of document that you want to share with them hey, I've got a document for you to view, or hey, I've got a VSL, like a video or a page that you want them to look at. And then also, if you're up for it, you could always just link in a handful of case studies of people who have loved working with you. So let's see, what would I really be doing in my discovery calls? Really, I'm going to be auditing a soft audit, but I'm just going to call this thing 1, thing 2, thing 3. For the sake of this, look forward to connecting with you soon. Best. Save. Great. So we've got first one, actions. This should be sending immediately. Okay, we are going to create a workflow, unenroll the contract. Nope, when they book a meeting, that is not correct. Specific form, meetings link, sender type, contact owner, add optional delay, no, create, save existing sequence. So what we've just done here is when a contact submits this link, so they fill out the form, which is our meeting booking link, they will then automatically get enrolled into this workflow. What happens then is, we go through and we can actually adjust these further, and we'll remove these here in just a minute. I don't really do cold calls, so that's fine. We're going to remove a manual, and we'll leave in that one. Cancel. All right, we're going to leave that for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you quite simply how that works. So we're going to come over here now. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go to sales, meeting scheduler. We're going to copy the link. We're going to open up a new page. I'm going to use a Gmail of mine. We're going to set up a meeting for me to connect tomorrow. Johnny Snowden. Confirm. We've not done any edits on this yet, but you see here, like, boom. And then we're going to reload this again. Boom, bada bang. And it should take just a moment for this to run through. Okay. Boom. Here's the invitation itself. So that's good. We've got the base invitation. And then what's going to happen is we should now be able to come over to here. We should look at enrollments. Let's reload the page. Performance should be enrolled because we go and do the form submission. Enrollment history. Here he is. View logs. Great. So that should just come through. Now he's added, and here is the email. So there we go. I wanted to take a moment to show you the full thing. And so there you go. You get the full email. You get the personal setup, and you've got the baked in stuff where you've got to be able to have this. So HubSpot sets things accordingly. But literally, it's a 1-minute delay between submission and completion. This right here is going to help mitigate any of the big issues that you typically are going to deal with, where people just don't follow up. They don't see that you're engaging with them. You're not doing the personal actions, and so on. Honestly, what will be even better is that we set it up so that way once this is done, you then push them into like a Lemlist sequence, and you can connect them to your HubSpot account. And then you can set it up so that way you can automatically go and do like the following campaign types. You can come in, create a manual campaign. And when a person comes into this, you go and you're going to use yourself, create a connection request, and you're then going to go through and do some of the basic stuff with the person. So, I want to send them a message. I want to go and do an invitation. I want to do a follow-up. I want to then do anything on LinkedIn is a great little way for you to close the gap. So that way they've booked a meeting with you. You've sent them an email directly to them within just minutes. And then ideally you're able to go and view their LinkedIn page and then send them an invitation. This is such an easy way for you to really layer in your activities, show them that you, first off, you look and feel like a real person, and add a lot of personal touches to things that most other people are not doing. You could literally go crazy with this if you really want to. You can just turn off the delays on all of these, so that way you can just go buck wild in terms of your outreaches. So view their profile, send them an invitation, then like their post, endorse their skill, and send a comment on their most recent post or like. This I would be careful with. I would not comment using AI. I would just maybe endorse, invitation, view the profile. But what's great is that you could set it up so that way you can easily send the connection on a meeting booking, and then you could just go and do the following. So make, scenarios, sequence, HubSpot, and then you can come into meetings, and then whenever come in, should be meetings, search meetings, right? A new meeting comes in, my CRM connection, Randy Gears, yes, connect, save. So this is one option. and then we can go through and build the flow. Honestly, I think about it, I would say an easier way is you create a webhook. So you create a webhook, HubSpot, meeting, booking, pass through, save. So this is option one. I'm showing you a handful of options. And then you can use automations, workflows. You can come in here, create a workflow from scratch. You can then use a custom trigger. So of course, you can come in here, you can do meeting. When meeting is booked, next. Great. Anytime a new meeting is booked, we then use data ops. We then send that data to a webhook. You see here, there's unfortunately one that was going to require Data Hub Professional, but let's just say that we're going to use Data Hub Professional in here. And so we're going to then save it. We're going to get started. Fantastic. And now we're going to come back. We're going to reload the workflow, create this, send a webhook, post webhook, grab this integration. We're going to copy the custom webhook that we just created, paste it here because we're pushing data. So we're posting this information. We don't need to authenticate, but then we can go through and just send in basic details of the meeting that came through. And so we can add a value. We don't need these. We're going to go and select a property. We're going to click meeting booked, add another property, meeting booked. And this is a title, start time, end time. And then we can also take the enrolled contacts. So now we're going to do their email. We can do meeting associated contact. Now we're going to do first name. Now we're going to do enrolled contact again, last name. Great. So we've got these. We're going to hit save, review and turn on. Next. Great. So now we've got this. We're going to hit save, run. We're going to come over to this workflow. We're going to enroll an individual contact. We've got Johnny Snowden here. This new contact's going to get boom, pushed. Here is the output. So of course, this isn't actively pulling in from that booking because the booking is technically the way we're doing it, but this is just pulling in that hard-coded details that we've got for them. What we can do now is connect our Lemlist. We can go to Lemlist. We can actually do this. We can delete Lemlist. We want to then add them to a campaign, add lead in a campaign. We create a connection. We get our API key. We connect the associated campaign. And then if necessary, maybe we go through and we actually do the following beforehand. We add a module, we go to Lemlist, we go through and we enrich the lead. The goal of enriching the lead is that we go through and get all of the available information that we need through here. Let's see here, conditions. Just make sure, I didn't remember if they had the built-in enrichment within this itself. Okay, no. So we would come through, we would come back into here, we'd come down to settings, integrations, API and webhooks, generate an API key, test, generate a key, copy said key, done, paste it here, fantastic. So now we go through, we put in the person's name, email, ideally we're able to get company email, right? I'm just hard coding this for the sake of this. And so we know that we're not going to have the person's LinkedIn URL, but ideally this can go through and run and get some of this information for us. Fantastic, save, good. So it went through, it found some information, the input data, and then it didn't find an email, actually. It did not find another LinkedIn. Here's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try giving it the hard-coded of the email. Run this module, goal, rigs, run, input, output. Actually surprised Lemlist isn't pulling this because typically it does a great job of finding LinkedIn emails. Maybe I'm just not important enough. Could be. Anyways, typically I would be able to find this. You could typically get that directly through the tool itself. So one option is you could just simply import the data and then run this out to get enrichment. And then we want to go through and at least add them into that campaign. And then, of course, in that campaign, we could do the example that I believe I'd mentioned, where we could just immediately view their profile, send them an invitation, like their post, and endorse their skill. So at this point, we're 30 minutes in, 30 minutes in, but by the time you're done with this, you've already got a basic little flow that's going to allow you to be much more human, much faster, and reduce your speed to lead with people who are directly in the point of booking and wanting to engage with you. An additional thing that you should do typically is go to your sequence itself, and instead of just having, let's go back to steps, and instead of just having your one email, I want you to have at least one other email where you're able to share a case study, a result of another client, some awesome story, a reference material, a good piece of content. You need to help set the tone and try to present why people are coming to work with you, why people love working with you, and so on and so forth. You want to provide confidence and clarity and direction and revalidate that they're using or talking to the correct person. We didn't even get into this one, but we'll be able to talk about this on another day. But it is super important that you have a thank you page after booking that does all of these things as well. So they should immediately be redirected to a page. It's like, hey, thanks so much for booking, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to now show you a video. I'm going to prepare you for what's coming up. I'm going to give you a guide or hand you something for free as a result. And so I'll share with that in another video, but I do hope that it gives you a window into how that can all be done on the meeting side. Now, if you want to do it on the form side, really straightforward. It's honestly absurd. So we just come over here. I'm going to go back because I went a little quick for you. We go to marketing. We go to forms. We go to create form if you don't have one. Use any of them. It doesn't bother me which one you want to use, but create a form. This is a 2-step form, of course. You can add multiple steps as you would like, but we've got a 2-step form here. So we're going to delete this step. So let's just say this is a guide or a document or a piece of material that they're filling the form out for. Fill this out. And then form is submitted. We're going to review and update. We're just going to decide how we want to put this. I'm going to say I'd probably embed it on a page, but we're just going to leave this as it is for right now. So we've got our form. Now, once we've got our form, we want to set it up so that way we can automatically send them a workflow. So we're going to go here. We're going to hit create from scratch. Now, what is the incoming trigger? Good comment. It is going to be the form submission. So automation's triggered. Where are you? My brain. Data. We're then going to do record meets a filter of conditions. Then we can scroll down to forms. Guys, where's forms? We're gonna go contact, form submission. Then we have the form that we created. Contact is filled this form out any number of times. That's fine. Next. And then this is pretty straightforward. I hope you understand how simple this is, but then you can go through and then you want to go and either create a task for you guys to send something on top of this, but typically you're going to want to go down to marketing. You're going to want to potentially, you know what? I'm not going to say you want to do that. For right now, I'm going to keep this more simple for you. We don't need to get to the super fancies. I want you to be able to send them an email. Again, we've got this. I'm just turning everything on as we go because I know most of you are going to be doing this stuff for the first time. Here it is. Workflow. We come into here. We've got our workflow. We're going to come to send communications and then we're going to hit email. So now we're going to go and create our own email because we need an email to send, our example thing. So let's say that form was a contact us or get access to Plod doc thing. And then we can put this from name. It's from Cole. We can also then choose the corresponding address, marketing, headline. This is the example. This is the example email that we're using for the video reference. Fantastic. And then we can put in, it auto runs the default footer, but we can come through, everything's filled out there. Manage, choose an email footer, bring gears. Reload this page because I needed to update that footer since we just did that. There's the primary. Try it again. Boom. Test email subject. We're going to add in the corresponding address, rigs, example email, primary, and save email. Save, review and turn on. There we go. And save, review and turn. Nope. Only enroll new contacts. That's good. We're now turned on the workflow. So this is going to work. So what we're going to do now, because we just put together the form, we've put together the other stuff, we're just going to go through and keep things nice and easy for us. So now let's say that you've taken this form, you've put it on the website somewhere, and you want to see what happens here, right? So we're going to put all these details in, submit. Fantastic. Now we can come over here to performance history of this. It is going to take a moment. We'll probably actually reload this page just to make sure that it comes through, but that is going to take just a moment. And then that's going to come and get embedded into that workflow. Then boom, here is that email that we sent through. So now the email has gone through. They've gotten everything. And at this point, we have already just set up a way for you to reduce your lead engagement time from nothing to something in about 35 minutes. So this is, I know it's very scrappy, but I hope that this quick and dirty version of this has been helpful for you to get a good concept and understanding of how you should be setting things up within HubSpot and really any other tool. I just need to give you a direct place to use as a reference point. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comments below. I'm happy to show more as we build out the cycle of how you should be setting your business up and then using tools like this so that way you reduce lead time to getting in front of your lead, improving your sales engagement and follow-up rates, and then also closing the gap between sales and marketing activities so you're actually driving more revenue instead of just burning all of it to hell and wondering what's happening in your business. So put anything down in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe. And again, if you want discounts and better rates on HubSpot, if you're going to use it, feel free to reach out. I would love to help. Even if we don't work together, that's totally fine. But I can save you a few grand, honestly, on HubSpot because they've got absurd onboarding costs that I can typically get waived because I'm a partner with them. So hopefully that all helps. Talk to you again soon. Thanks so much.